class we have seen about DFA, NFA, and then definitions we have seen, and the construction of NFA and DFA also we have seen. So today we are going to see how to convert NFA to DFA. Okay, so you all know what is NFA and what is DFA. We have studied in the previous classes. Right. So now what is the common part in the DFA and NFA also you all know. So I have taken a definition like M equal to Q summation delta transition, then Q naught, then F. So these are the definitions for both of the thing. But we have a common part Q epsilon Q naught F. It's all common for both of the things, but only delta transition will differ, right? So for DFA you will have a delta transition of what? Delta transition equal to, like, we will be taking one state and we will be having one input, then it will reach us to the other state, that is DFA. Whereas but in NFA, what is the difference we have seen? So delta transition equal to, like, any state, then multiplied with an input, then it will give 2 power of Q. That is, for a single input it can move to the different states. So that is said to be as an NFA. That is a common difference we have seen. Okay, now we are going to see the conversion of NFA to DFA. So just you are going to convert a given NFA to DFA. So how we are going to convert this? So first, initially the question will be in this form. In this delta transition form it will be. Now we are going to convert this into DFA. Okay, so how we are going to convert? We are going to see with one example. Example we are going to see here is, just I will give one example of NFA here and we will be converting that into an DFA. Okay, so we will take an example like this. So this initial state will be Q naught. Okay, initial state will be Q naught. Then I am going to Q1 will take one more state, and this will be B, and Q2, and next we are reaching to the final state Q3 with the transition of B again. Okay, now this will take this as A comma B. So whether this is an NFA or not. So now Q naught, it has a self transition of A, as well as the Q naught, it is giving the transition with the same input A to the Q1. So now this tends to be as an NFA here. Okay, now we are going to convert this into a DFA. How we are going to convert this? So first I am going to draw the transition table for this NFA. How we will be drawing the transition table? Just I will be taking inputs A and B. So we have two inputs A and B, and states is Q0, Q1, Q2, Q3. So how you will be differentiating the initial state and final state here? So initial state I will be representing with an arrowhead. Final state we can put circle or we can put asterisk symbol. In either of one we can put any of these things. So now Q0 A, what is in states? It is moving on with an A input. Q0 to A, it goes to Q1, as well as Q0 also it is going. So now it will come like Q0 comma Q1. Okay, why I am putting a curly braces is to mention that this is an NFA. To show that this table represents an NFA, so I am just mentioning within curly braces. Whereas in DFA you will be putting in square brackets. That is the difference you need to show it here when drawing the transition table. So now Q naught A we have taken. Next Q naught B. Q naught B is same Q naught itself. Okay, then Q1A, there is no transition itself, so we will take pi null. Then Q1B, it goes to Q2. Then Q2A, we don't have any transition, so null. Then Q2B is Q3. Then Q3 don't have any transition itself, so we will take pi. Okay, now this is a transition table we have drawn from this transition diagram. So with the help of this, we are going to convert this into an DFA. How we are going to convert this? So first we will take the first transition, this one. Why? Because you need to check the initial state. The initial state is q naught here. So with this, what and all the states it is being connected, you need to check. So now the q naught is connected with here and here, but none other places the q naught is not there. So q naught, the initial state, is connected with these states only. Okay, so now I will be considering this first state and I will be evaluating for the conversion of DFA now. So I am taking the first state. So this q naught will give a transition of what? Q naught comma q1 and then q naught. This is a transition we are getting for the first. Okay, now in this first, which is a new state we have got, in this which is a new state, already q naught is there in the state, but here q naught comma q1 is a new state we got. So for that we need to find another new state. Okay, so we need to take this as a consider this new state and we will be solving it further. So you will be considering this q naught q1 and we will be performing the delta transition. So you just take this q naught q1. So now what I'll do is I'll consider new state q naught q1 and perform the delta transition with both the inputs. So now first I'll take delta transition of q naught comma q1 comma a. So first input I have taken. So now what it will do? So first it will do the transition with q naught comma a. So first I will take delta transition of q naught comma a union of then delta transition of q1 comma a. So now what will be the output? Q naught comma a, what we got? Q naught comma q1 we have. Then q1 comma a will be the q naught. So now what we will do is we will take a union of both those things. So now q naught comma q1 and this will be union of q1 comma a is what? It's in pi. So now if you are taking union, you will get what? Q naught comma q1. Okay, q naught comma q1 we are going to get. Next we will do the transition with a b. So what you will do? So you just do the transition with b, delta transition of q naught comma q1 comma b. So now we will do the transition with b. So now what we will do? Delta transition of q naught comma b union of delta transition of q1 comma b. So now q naught comma b is what? Q naught comma b is q naught. Okay, then union of q1 comma b is q2. q1 comma b is q2. Now what will be the union of this state? We will get q naught comma q2 will get. So now what happened when we are doing a transition with a input, we are getting q naught comma q1. It's already existing state here. Then q naught, when we are doing with the b transition, b input, then here we are getting q naught comma q2. It's a new transition we got. So now what we'll do is we'll just add here in the transition table, we need to update. Already we have q naught q1, q naught. So first we have an input of q naught. So that will take, because we are converting into DFA and putting into the square brackets. Then for the A transition we are having q naught comma q1. Okay. Then for B we are going to have q naught. Then next we taken considered this state as a new state, then q naught q1. Now for this what is an output? Again we are getting q naught q1. Okay, then new b is q naught q2. Now we got a new state now. Again we need to consider this new state for doing this delta transition. Now what we'll do? We just take this what? We'll just take q naught q2 with A and q naught q2 with B. We'll do this transition now. What it is coming, you just see. Now first I am considering delta transition of q naught q2 comma A, that equal to delta transition of q naught comma A union of delta transition of q2 comma A. So now q naught comma A is again what you are getting? Q0 comma Q1 we are getting, and union of Q2 comma A is pi. Again we are getting an output of what? Q0 comma Q1. Now next we are going to do with the B transition. So now delta transition of Q1, Q0 comma Q2, then comma B, that equal to delta transition of Q0 comma B union of delta transition of Q0 Q2 comma B. Okay, now what you will get? Q0 comma B is Q0 union of Q2 comma B is Q3. Okay, so here we got Q2, new state we got Q2. So now here what happened? So first Q0 comma B, Q0 comma B, we got Q0. Then Q2 comma B, we got Q3. So now here we will get Q0 comma Q3. Okay, now what is the new state we got? So Q0 comma Q2, we are getting Q0 comma Q1, and then we are getting Q0 comma Q3. Okay, now new state again we got. So we are going to consider Q0 comma Q3. So delta transition of Q0 comma Q3 comma A, that equal to delta transition of Q0 comma A union of delta transition of Q3 comma A. So what you will get? Again here Q0 comma Q1 union of pi. We don't have anything here. So you will get like Q0 comma Q1 again you will get. Okay. So now next we are going to consider this with B. So now delta transition of then Q0 comma Q3 B. So that equal to delta transition of Q0 comma B union of delta transition of Q3 comma B. So Q0 comma B is what? Q0. So Q0 union of Q3 comma B is pi. So you are getting Q0. So now Q0 comma Q3 we are getting like Q0 comma Q1 and Q0. So now already existing state we have reached. So once we got the same existing state, when we are doing all these operations, then you need to stop these operations. Then you have reached your destination. So now we have converted this NFA into a DFA. So how you will be justifying that? You just draw the diagram of this part. Now which one and all we will be considering as a final state here? This is the initial state, and final state is, since the final state in the given NFA is Q3. So wherever Q3 is there, that is a final state. So this will be the final state of DFA. So now we'll just draw the DFA diagram for the converted transition table. So we'll take Q0 as one state. Okay, this is the initial state. Then next state is Q0 comma Q1. Okay, then next state is what? Q0 comma Q2. Then next state is Q0 comma Q3. So now you just join each other. Q0 A input, it is going to Q0 Q1. Then Q0, it goes to Q0 itself by a B input. So B I am joining. Then next Q0 Q1 to Q0 Q1 itself, it's an A. Then Q0 to Q0 Q2. So here this side, it's a B. Then Q0 Q2 to Q0 Q1, this side, it's an A. Okay, then Q0 Q2 to Q0 Q3, it's in B. Then Q0 Q3 to Q0 Q1, so this side, it's in A. Then Q0 Q3 to Q0, so this side, it's in B. Okay, so have you understood? So this is an NFA to DFA conversion. So next class we'll see what is this. We have one more component in NFA, just an NFA we have seen. So we need to see what is an epsilon NFA. NFA. So next class we will see what is an epsilon NFA and how we are going to convert that epsilon NFA to a normal NFA. Okay, so thank you.